By the end of this lecture, learners will be able to define the origins of language, describe the discontinuity theory, describe the continuity theory, explain the main features of human languages, determine the importance of language in any society. Hello everybody, and welcome to the UNIV-ENGLISH channel. If you have not been here before, then, welcome to the UNIV-ENGLISH channel. If you're interested in learning more about linguistics, then make sure to hit the subscribe button, and also smash the notification bell, to receive notifications of when I produce more videos like this. For more information, you are invited to visit my website, english.mokerma.com. So, let's begin with this question. How did language originate? Language is a system of symbols with which we communicate. It is made up of the spoken, written, and signed words that we use to share our ideas and feelings. Each language has its own set of rules for how the symbols are used. These rules are called grammar. Language is the most important way we humans communicate. We use it to talk about the past, present and future. We use language to find out what other people know and to tell them what we know. Language is also creative and dynamic. It is constantly evolving to meet the needs of its users. New words are created all the time, and old ones take on new meanings. Language is also flexible, able to be used in a variety of ways to express different thoughts and feelings. Definition. Edward Sapir, 1921, page 26, states that, language is a purely human and non-instinctive method of communicating ideas, emotions, and desires by means of a system of voluntarily produced symbols. Shamsuddin, 1986, page 2, claims that, a language is a tool used to shape the mind and feelings, desires and deeds, a tool used to influence and be influenced. Walidja, 1996, page 4, states that, language of communication is the most complete and effective way to convey ideas, messages, intentions, feelings and opinions to others. According Wibowo, 2001, page 3, language is a system of symbols that are meaningful and articulate sound, generated by said tool, which are arbitrary and conventional, which is used as a means of communicating by a group of human beings to give birth to feelings and thoughts. Characteristics of human language. One of the most fascinating things about human language is that it is unique to our species. Language allows us to communicate our thoughts and experiences with others, and it is an essential part of what makes us human. There are several characteristics that distinguish human language from other forms of communication. 1. Symbolic. Human language is symbolic. Language is a system of symbols with which we communicate. These symbols can be sounds, gestures, or written symbols. They are combined into meaningful units such as words, phrases, and sentences. This means that words can represent concepts and ideas, instead of just concrete objects. 2. Productive. Human language is productive. One of the defining characteristics of human language is its productivity, or the ability to create new words and sentences despite finite vocabulary. This means that when people use a language, they can make up unique words or phrases based on existing conventions. The productive feature of human language allows us to create infinite combinations from a limited set of lexemes. 3. Discreteness. Discreteness is one of the most important features of language. It is what allows us to communicate specific ideas and thoughts. Without discreteness, language would be nothing more than a series of sounds or gestures with no meaning. In linguistics, this refers to the fact that languages have a finite number of units, sounds, words, etc., which can be combined to create an infinite number of meanings. 4. Displacement. Refers to the ability of humans to communicate about objects and events that are not physically present. This is possible because language allows us to talk about abstract concepts and mental representations. Displacement is a key feature of human language that sets us apart from other animals. For example, we can talk about things that happened in the past or future, or discuss hypothetical situations. This ability allows us to share our ideas and experiences with others, and communicate complex thoughts and concepts. 5. Duality. Duality is a key concept in linguistics that refers to the two sides of language, the spoken and the written. It is the idea that spoken language and written language are two different systems, each with its own rules and conventions. Duality also refers to the relationship between spoken and written language. This relationship can be seen as complementary, where one supports and reinforces the other, or as conflicting, where one side dominates or marginalizes the other. 6. Arbitrariness. The concept of arbitrariness, or the lack of a direct relationship between the signifier and the signified, is vital to understanding language. This means that different cultures can use completely different words for the same thing without any confusion resulting from it. 7. Cultural transmission. Language is transmitted through generations by means of cultural transmission. This process begins with parents teaching their children basic words and grammar rules. As children grow older, they learn more complicated aspects of language from their peers, teachers, and the media. Cultural transmission is not just limited to language. It also includes knowledge, beliefs, values, and norms that are passed down from one generation to the next. This process helps ensure that each successive generation has the tools they need to function in society. Without cultural transmission, societies would soon crumble as each generation would have to start from scratch in terms of learning how to live and interact with others. 8. Linearity. Linearity is an important concept in the study of language. It refers to the arrangement of words and phrases in a sentence according to a certain predetermined order. In other words, linearity is the way that sentences are constructed and structured so that meaning is conveyed clearly and accurately. Linearity helps to make language more efficient as it reduces ambiguity by providing clear guidelines for how sentence constructions should be ordered. This makes it easier for people to understand what is being said when communicating with each other. Origins of language. The origins of language is a topic that has been debated for centuries. Scientists have yet to agree on the exact origin of human language, but many believe it developed over time as humans interacted with their environment and each other. Researchers point to evidence from evolutionary biology and anthropology to argue that language evolved in humans as they adapted to their environment. Theories suggest that early humans used vocalizations such as grunts, clicks and whistles in order to communicate basic needs or emotions, though it wasn't until much later that these vocalizations became more complex. As humans developed language, they were able to communicate more effectively and efficiently. Language allowed them to express their needs, make plans and build relationships. Thus, language not only helped humans survive but also thrive in their environment. The Discontinuity Theory. The discontinuity theory is an approach to understanding the origins of language. This theory posits that human language emerged suddenly and completely independently from animal communication systems. According to this view, language is a unique phenomenon, distinct from any system found in other species in its structure and complexity. Advocates for the discontinuity theory point out that there is no clear evolutionary link between animal communication and human language. Further, they argue that the differences between the two are so large as to make it impossible for one to have evolved into the other. This perspective stands in contrast with the continuity theory, which holds that language is gradually developed over time from existing forms of animal communication through a process of adaptation and evolution. The continuity theory. The continuity theory is one of the most widely accepted theories on the origins of language. This theory suggests that language evolved over time from non-linguistic forms to more complex systems of communication. Proponents of this theory believe that certain linguistic elements existed in pre-human species, such as rudimentary vocalizations and gestures. Over time, these basic forms developed into a variety of languages with distinct grammatical structures and vocabulary. One key element of this theory is that languages are constantly in flux, changing as new generations learn them and pass them down to their own children. This means that languages can evolve slowly or rapidly depending on contact with other communities or cultures. As different cultures interact, they may borrow words or phrases from each other, which leads to a form of creolization among the languages involved. How language evolves over time. Language is constantly evolving over time. It can be seen in everyday conversation and new words, phrases and slang that appear in culture. As society changes, so does the language. People borrow from other cultures to create their own unique set of expressions and meanings, resulting in a rapid evolution of language that happens over only a few years. One example of this is the emergence of digital language. Text-speak has become increasingly popular as communication moves away from face-to-face interactions to those through technology. This type of language is often shortened or abbreviated to save time and energy while typing out messages or emails. Similarly, emojis have also become an integral part of modern communication, particularly among younger generations who use them to express feelings and emotions without having to use words or sentences. Conclusion. Language is a system of communication that is composed of a set of rules that are used to generate meaning. It is a tool that humans use to interact with one another and share information. Language is also a key part of our identity, as it helps to define who we are and where we come from. Language is one of the most unique and important aspects of human culture. Language is an incredibly complex system of communication that allows humans to interact and understand each other. It allows us to share our thoughts, feelings, and experiences in ways that can both connect people and create a sense of understanding. Language also serves as a vehicle for cultural exchange, which makes it possible for different cultures to learn from each other. As we expand our knowledge of language, we expand our ability to comprehend the world around us.